The audiobook, Three Secrets, a three-book bundle, is read by the author Terry R. Barca and is copyright 2019. Unseen. The hardest thing in the world to keep is a secret. No matter how hard you try, someone always finds out. Even the best-kept secrets are eventually exposed to the light of day. T.R. Barca. The dust from the yellowing pages irritated my eyes. The writer was a shadowy figure in my life. I had met her a few times when she was very old, and small children were of little interest to her. Who could blame her? When she died, I was too young to go to the funeral. Not that I threw a tantrum or anything, but I was curious. She was the first person to die during my brief existence. When you are a kid, old people are like creatures from another planet, so far removed from your world as to seem genuinely alien. There are exceptions, of course. If you're lucky enough to have grandparents, you'll know what I mean. Mine were too old, too far away, or too dead to play a role in my life. I've heard friends talk about their grandmothers as being the one person they could tell anything to. It's good to have someone who will keep your secrets. Grandparents don't feel the same way that parents do, so they tend to relax. They have been there and seen it all happen. They come at each problem with a calmness that young people react to. I yearn to say that that's how it was with Daisy, but it wasn't. You notice that I didn't say Grandma Daisy. That's because my mother always referred to her mother as Daisy. I'd been putting off the task of going through my mother's things because it was just too painful, too real. I'd had a few weeks to get used to the idea that she was going to die, but in the end it didn't help. My husband had offered to help, but I'm a capable woman who is well into her fourth decade, and this is a job best done alone. Reading through those old notebooks and loose pages, sitting in the attic of my mother's house, I've discovered that Daisy liked me, although why she should have, I have no idea. I was barely aware of her existence, and I don't ever remember having a conversation with her, although I must have, because she mentions me in her beautiful handwriting. The little one asked me what I was looking at, both hands on her hips and a defiant look in her eyes. It was all I could do to contain my smile. This little one is going to make her mark in the world. The little one, that was me, Susan, way back then. I must have been about 6 years old. That was the last time I saw her. Naturally, I wanted to find more references to me in this box of handwritten memories, but there were precious few. I discovered the old wooden trunk in the mid-morning, and I sat in the attic and read until it got dark. Time went by in a flash, but that was what these papers were about. Time. Daisy was my grandmother, and she was also a spy. She didn't set out to be a spy, it just worked out that way. Her world dipped headlong into the deadly conflict of World War II, and Daisy decided that she had to do her bit. No one forced her into it. It was all her own idea. These were patriotic times, and young men were signing up to do their bit. Her female friends were joining up, and some were headed off to the country to join the land army. Daisy had skills and confidence, and she was smart enough to know that this was a time in history where women could show their worth. They were needed, and men would have to take them seriously. She was brighter than most, and her language skills made her stand out. She was fluent in German and French. She had learned German at school, but more importantly, she had learned and practiced her French while on holiday in Paris. Every summer, for most of her childhood, she had spent time with her aunt and uncle, playing with French children, adopting their accent and style of speech.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?